Welcome to Marshmellow Reads. I'm Marcy, and today I'm going to tell you about the most surprising books I read in 2021. I'm going to tell you about the good, the bad, and the absolutely buck wild. Let's get into it. I'm going to start with the good category. First off, The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This, to me, felt like it came out of absolutely nowhere. It is a YA, reverse harem, just what? Avery, this random high schooler, is named the main heir to the Hawthorne fortune worth billions of dollars. And now the Hawthorns and the rest of the world really want to know, why her? Also, a love triangle. This did not feel like something that I would be so into, but I absolutely devoured this book. I loved the mystery, why Avery was chosen. You kind of get an idea why by the end of it, but the mystery isn't fully solved. It's continued in the Hawthorne legacy, which wasn't that great. But the first one was really, really fun. And if you like puzzles and Nancy Drew mysteries, stuff what is it? Secret passages found in houses and stuff like that, I think you're gonna like this one. Next, a seasonally appropriate book if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, Shiver by Ali Reynolds. In this one, a group of estranged ex-snowboarders are invited to a reunion in this empty French Alps resort. And this is where they practiced and competed at the peak of their careers 10 years ago when they were actually friends, but they haven't spoken to each other in that entire period, basically, because of a specific thing that happened 10 years ago. One of their friends went missing on the mountain and no one knows what happened to her. And the story is switching back and forth between the timeline 10 years ago, seeing all this drama within the friend group, and it's messy and fun. And then seeing whatever is happening in the current timeline, they're trying to figure out who invited them to this resort. Where did they go? There's no one here. There's no power. Their cell phones are missing. It was a very fun mystery, and I think you might enjoy it. And then this one, The Push by Ashley Audran. This is a psychological thriller, I would say, pushes into horror, and it's about a woman whose experience of motherhood is nothing like what she hoped for, and everything she feared. No kids. This one absolutely could go into the book wild category, but it's so good. I put it in this one. That's it for the surprisingly good category, and now onto the surprisingly bad category. Practical Magic by Alice Hoffman. So in this one, two sets of sisters fight and then make up. And they're also trying to hide a body in their garden, but bad magic happens because of it. I did not care 1 ounce about this plot. I was so excited about this. It was supposed to be about a family of witches. It wasn't. It was, I don't think it was magical realism. Or was it? I'm not sure. It was bad. I had high hopes for this one, and it waste of money. This one, I wasn't sure how I was gonna feel going into it. This is A Winter's Promise by Christiel Davos. This was originally published in 2013, but it really reads more like a classic, and I don't know, it wasn't quite for me. But the setup was really interesting. So in this world, the rupture happens and it just scatters the world into a bunch of different floating islands. And then sometime later in that timeline, our main character, she is a young woman who's really good at reading the memories of objects by holding them. And she is forced to move to basically the North Pole island to marry some dude. And he is such a grumpy man. He brings nothing to this book but grumpiness. He's not interesting, and he's very annoying. I was hoping that at least we would get to see some behind the scenes, like pining for her. Like I was hoping for a legitimate progression of a relationship between these two, but it did not happen. It was just so much of this like family and societal politics and hierarchy and blah blah blah. I struggled so hard through this one, and I think, no, it is a series, but I will absolutely not be continuing with it. This one is also a series, Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Nan. I liked it a bit. I did enjoy the relationship between Lei and Ren. If I could just read a Cliff Notes version of this series with just their relationship being developed, I think I would actually do that, but I could not care about the surrounding world, especially the like demon caste system. Like maybe if you're a furry, you would be into it more than I was. Legitimately, like, and especially like I know that this story is about survivors of sexual assault, and I get that, but it still was really, really hard to read about those scenes. Like these are forced concubines, and the emperor king is a demon, like a bull demon or something. Like it was too much for me. Yeah, bummer. And then lastly, we have the book wild category. I only have one book in this one, but like it still blows me away how wild this one was. So this is Earthlings by Sayaka Murata. Natsuki is not like other girls. She thinks she might be a witch or some sort of like alien from another planet. Either way, she knows that there's something about her that makes her different from everyone else. And now that she's an adult, she has no interest in romantic relationships. Like if you read the book and understand what happened to her as a child, you will understand why that might be. But anyway, she finds this other guy who feels similarly to her and moves in with him, marries him and all that, just so that the, Japanese society and their families will get off their backs for a bit. But then this story goes off the rails, and Natsuki ends up doing stuff with her cousin. Yes. And also there's cannibalism. It's really hard to summarize this book. Like I don't even know. I can't, and I won't. So if you are interested at all, like I'd still recommend it. It is, oh man, I don't know. I still don't really know how I feel about this book. I think I am happy that I read it, and I think other people would be happy to read it, but it was a ride. And that concludes the most surprising books I read in 2021. I am excited for what 2022 brings. I do hope for more of the book wild type of books. Like those are the kind of books that I have maybe the most fun reading. Like you don't know what's coming next, or like, I don't know. It's like one of those dark room theme park rides. Like you don't know what's around the corner, but you're excited and scared. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you really liked this video, consider subscribing to my channel. I hope you all have an amazing week. Do something nice for yourselves, do something nice for others, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!